My rebuttal to your rebuttal. Okay. Um, First off, you have accused me of being narrow-minded, being being dogmatic in my insistence that the only thing I will accept as truth are things that are scientific, mathematic, that I am very dogmatic in my approach to truth, that I will only accept truth um, as long as it obeys the rules and process and methods of science. Well, I guess I plead guilty. All right, I'm guilty of that. Uh, in my experience, science has been the best way of determining the truth. But on the other hand, I consider myself open-minded, and if you have some better way of determining the truth, I would love to hear it. Okay, so back to you. If you have a better way of determining the truth, the objective truth, I would love to hear it. Okay, and until then, I'm going to stick with science. All right, because it's the best thing I know. All right. Next topic. Insulting all Muslims for the actions of a few. Well, there's an undercurrent to that incident, and that is that dogmatic religions like Islam, and particularly some nations, impose severe penalties for heresy or for apostates, people who dare question the culture. To me, that is the undercurrent running through this incident, and that is what I object to. I don't see how people will ever be objective if they are prevented from asking questions, asking even the most basic questions about their biases and the way they were brought up. Okay? To me, religion is anathema to objectivity. I'm not, religion is dogmatic in that it does not allow anyone to question. Okay, so even though some Muslims, possibly all Muslims, get insulted when people do things like that, it's for a reason. It's because we're questioning why would people be insulted with something like that. Okay, why is questioning so bad? All right. Why is an insult so bad? All right. Certainly not something worth killing over. All right. As far as cultural subjectivity, the way people perceive culture, is subjective. Sure, people are subjective. They grow up with biases and everything else, but the objective part of culture is the rules that are imposed that everyone must obey. Okay, even foreign nationals apparently. Okay, although this one was pardoned. The rules that are imposed by a culture, to a large extent, encode their beliefs about it, and those rules are objective. They have very objective ways of determining whether they've been broken. Very concrete punishments that get doled out for people who violate those rules. It's subjective, okay? The perception part is subjective, but the rules part is objective, okay? Okay, last point. Money is power. Well, I suppose to a certain extent, I did choose some examples that were outside the country. Martin Luther King, the whole civil rights movement, excuse me, is something that was not well financed. Let's put it that way. It was word of mouth, and it was very powerful. Martin Luther King was a very powerful man, and it happened in this country, and not so long ago. There have been lots of movements that have not been well financed, and certainly opposed by people who were well financed, that nonetheless have gained strength and power and momentum and have changed this country. Equating power with money, I think, is a mistake. I think it's a basic mistake. I don't know why you don't just admit it. because they're two different words. Money is access to resources. It's circulation. Power is the ability to change the environment, which may also involve changing the circulation of money. If you have a message and you say, we're going to boycott some country because we don't like what they're doing, well, that's not going to work unless you have a lot of people doing it. So, say money is power, no. Money can be influenced by power and have some effect. Money can be a consequence of power. It certainly can affect the circulation of money. But money by itself is not power. Certainly there were powerful people even before money was invented. Okay? So let's not confuse the two, all right? Let's not equate them, please, all right? So anyways, that's it.